Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna be sharing my travel tips and tricks on how to be bougie on a budget. Everybody that knows me personally know how cheap I am. Really cheap. I hate spending on money if I don't have to. Does that make sense? So these are tips and tricks on how to travel being bougie on a budget. Is find someone who works at the airlines. Shout out to Alonzo. He's helped me a lot. Find someone who works at the airlines who could give you hookups. So I know it's really expensive nowadays to check in a bag. Try as much as possible to pack lightly. Don't check in any bags. Obviously it's gonna be more expensive in your end. Try to not check in your bags and just bring a carry-on. If you are a wanderlust like me, this trick has worked for me numerous times. So go to a location where you have a really close friend or a family. I went to Poland, I went with my best friend. We lived with her family for a little bit and then we did an Airbnb and it just worked out. For the most part, you're saving so much money by spending time with your family, your close friends. As much as you can, try to travel to a location where you know somebody. Number 4. So I know this is extremely rare because I have only experienced this one time, but listen to the radio. I know it sounds crazy, but you know how they always have those things like, oh, if you call this number, you could win a free trip to Miami. So one day, we were like 8 in the morning, and there was a question that was like, what's a country that doesn't have a letter A in it? So call this number. If you have an answer, you'll win a trip to X, Y, and Z. I was like, all right, like I've got nothing to lose. I called the number, and then they picked up the phone. I was driving. I was literally shook. They were like, congratulations. What's your answer? What's a country that doesn't have a letter A in it? I had to represent my country. So I was like, the Philippines. Of course, right? They were like, congratulations. You want a trip to Orlando, Florida, and you want a trip to Vegas. I was like, what? Like, what is happening? So try to listen to the radio. You never know. So just give it a shot. When I travel, I know I want to go to certain locations. And so always try to make an itinerary. I know it could be tedious, it could be time consuming, but if you have that, it will save you so much time. When you're there, you should already know what you want to explore. So it saves you a lot of time. Having a set schedule does work sometimes, and sometimes you could be off. You don't have to spend money. Like for example, New York, right? Like, oh my god, but New York is so expensive. It is expensive, but there are free attractions. Do your research. Google that ish and be like, free things to do in California, free things to do in Chicago. There's so many things that you could do for free, and you could still have so much fun. Roam around and explore for free and have a great time. You could go to museums. I know there are so many museums that are free. So I always tell my friends that you only have one life to live. If you can, if you have the money, if you have the time, go. I know it's easier said than done, but if you really want to try a new adventure and it's something that you've been wanting to do, this is the time to do it now, because once you get older and once you have kids and all these responsibilities on you, it'll be harder to do what you personally want to do. You get to see the world in a whole different perspective, and just spending time with the people that you love, the things that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. These are the memories that you want to look back on. I do want to travel more. It's just that now it's a little bit more hectic, it's a little bit more expensive because I have financial obligations that I have to focus on, and it's not as easy. Let's just try to see how much your expenses are. I'm very fortunate enough, of course, because I do still live with my parents. I just want to become more responsible. Yeah, these are my tips and tricks, and I hope you guys took something away from it. Till next time. Bye!